All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Every Man a King by Walter Mosley. This is book number 2 in his King Oliver mystery series. Book number 1 was Down the River Unto the Sea, which I read and reviewed about a month ago. So if you want to watch my review of book 1, just type in the title of the book, my last name, into your YouTube search engine, and that review will magically appear upon your computer screen or your phone or whatever you're using. I don't care. Anyway, let's talk about the covers first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. So this is book 2, book 1. They kind of go together. I like the black and white photograph interposed with sort of the yellow font here and then the red font here. It is a series. The spines don't really look like it's part of a series at all, but whatever. It's still pretty cool. But anyway, this is the book we're talking about today. King Oliver. Okay, so he is an ex-prisoner, but he's also an ex-police officer, and he spent time. Now, book number 1, we go through the journey where he kind of spends time at Rikers Island in the prison Rikers Island for a crime he did not commit, and now he is released from the prison, and he is a private investigator, and there's this guy named Roger Ferris. Now, King Oliver is just kind of this dude. I told you what he is. He's an ex-cop, ex-prisoner. Roger Ferris is a billionaire, 93 years old. And King Oliver's grandma just happens to be Roger Ferris's dancing partner. Now, Roger Ferris is like I said, he's a billionaire. His kids think he's too decrepit and old to keep running the company. So we've got that going on. But he's still a sharp guy, and he knows he's a sharp guy, and he knows his kids are out to kind of sabotage him. There's the basic plot of the story is there's a white nationalist named Xavier Quiller, who is accused of murder and selling information to the Russians. However, this billionaire Ferris believes that this white nationalist is being set up, and he has asked our main guy, King Oliver, the investigator, to figure out what's going on. So in order to figure this out, even with the help from his mercenary bodyguard Ruiz, King Oliver he can't seem to keep out of trouble. His family is in danger over this, because his grandmother is the dance partner to the billionaire. His daughter is involved in this. He can't keep out of trouble. This is part mystery, part family drama, part thematically a conversation about prisons, because during this investigation, King Oliver has to go back to Rikers Island to interview some people. And he's in and out of the prisons a lot. Now, he suffers PTSD from the prison system for the brief time he was in there. Well, it wasn't brief. I think he was in there quite a bit under the false charges. But he was in there. He experienced a lot of trauma in the prison. And I can tell you, as a prison guard, for those of you that have followed my channel, you know that I've worked in the Utah State Prison for quite a number of years in various different capacities. And so I know what it's like to be inside of a prison and see what PTSD situations come up for not only inmates, but the people that work there. And many scenes where Oliver goes back into the prison to do the investigation, I really enjoyed those scenes, just for the fact that Walter Mosley was really getting it correct. And I wanted to read a passage that he wrote, which I thought was really, really poignant here. And this is when he's thinking back about it. This is when King Oliver's thinking back about his time in prison. Years ago, when they sent me to Rikers, I felt as if I'd never leave. The problem with receiving a life sentence even if that judgment is reversed a mere 3 months later, is that you have been bereft of hope and freed from the fear of consequences. When there's no more need to cower, a certain kind of personality begins to take needless chances. If you've already paid the ultimate price in your mind, then restraint against superior forces is almost all you have left. Which I see that daily. And I mean, there are, when inmates are in there for a long time and they feel like there's nothing left to lose, really the only sort of goal they have is to fight against the man, is to fight against the prison policy, is to just make life miserable for everybody else around them in this quest for just to achieve something, even if that is fighting against the man, fighting against the power that be, and they will dedicate the entire time that they're in prison to this pursuit, because why not? It keeps them busy. It's their way of fighting back, and so I get it. That's really, and I kind of think that this is a thematic thing throughout this whole novel, not just with his PTSD of having been an ex-con, but also as we venture into this plot with the white supremacist who may or may not have been falsely accused of selling information to the Russians about this billionaire who's 93, who's soon to die, who's still holding on to, he's got nothing left to lose because he's old, he's got $1 billion, he can just say, do whatever he wants and pay whatever he needs to. I mean, so it's kind of like this fight, this inevitable fight for power that we all have when our backs are against the wall. And that's basically kind of what I got out of this book. Actually, I love Walter Mosley books. And maybe I got everything thematically fucking wrong in this book, but that's what I drew from it. Anyway, I like the King Oliver series. I like Walter Mosley's Easy Rawlins books. I like his Leonid McGill books. And there's another series up there that I haven't started yet, but anyway, let's give this a good solid 10 out of 10. Just a great book.